most rewarding championship that I've ever been involved in.
Momentum's up.
This championship is one of the hardest in the world.
It feels like the first race weekend was almost what I describe as a winter series round. It was 5 weeks ago, it was chaos, it was everything trying to learn its way, all that type of stuff. So coming here, I feel like we're coming to a circuit that I know, that we tested at pre-season, and I'm a bit more of an eye open as to what to expect, as opposed to when we went to Thruxton, it was really a guess. We hadn't been out there, we hadn't been on hards, we hadn't even been out in the wet. So there was just so many variables that it's nice to come to round two with a bit more, with our feet on the ground.
It was a real up and down weekend. It's one of those of what could have been. We're not coming here at Snetterton with a huge amount of ballast, 48 kilos exactly. So yeah, it just means it might assist us in qualifying a little bit to get a bit further up to then turn things around this weekend. Colin's always been strong here. Over the years, he's shown that with his results. For me, I feel like we can race our way through. So ultimately, if we don't have that perfect lap time or the qualifying pace to be where he is, there's always that element in terms of racing and pulling it through. And if I'm honest, you can go and win 2 races, but if you don't win the third or have a good result in the third, your weekend doesn't look quite as good. Look back at Josh Cook, Thruxton. He goes and wins the first 2, has a bad third, and it just massively counteracts what you do. So consistency is key here, and that's what I'll be aiming for.
I always think you can get away with 1 bad race weekend in this championship, and we've done that. Both me and Adam tick the boxes. We haven't scored many points at Thruxton. And even Colin Turkington, let's be honest, 4 times champion of BMW, he's 7th in the championship after Thruxton, which kind of says it all. You know, we really struggled with the rear-wheel drive round there. But now it's hot at Twisty Snetterton, and we've got a soft tyre, and apparently, I haven't tried it yet, but apparently the soft tyre is the best tyre on the BMW. So I'm really looking forward to trying it in one of my races this weekend, which is completely different, the rules. You don't have to choose your tyre now before qualifying. This year you can just decide before you leave the pit box in one of the races when you run it, which is all a bit more of a surprise for everybody, especially the commentators and the fans. Who's got what tyres in this race? You don't know until we're leaving the pit lane, so that's going to be exciting.
To me, this weekend marks the start of the actual season. Now everything is in quick succession. Now we get to roll into one weekend to the next. And to say I'm excited is probably an understatement. Now jumping to 7th place, I always hate when people sound really arrogant, but honestly I thought I drove really well. like I haven't driven great all day, but I thought I actually drove pretty okay there, but the pace just wasn't there. I think the chassis feels good. It's just a hard pill to swallow because everyone's worked hard and we've not got the rewards. Okay, I'm done. I now need to try and take this off.
Yeah, we're not quite sure if I'm honest. First part of qualifying, we managed to get a lap under our belt, but that got taken away for track limits. So we actually only got 2 flying laps, and then come in, got another set of tyres on. And as we were on the warm-up procedure, there was a knocking noise. Not quite sure what we can put on. Whether you're at low speed, high speed, there's a loss of power as well in there. So it really hampered us trying to get back into that top 10. But look, even if we got there, we still didn't have an engine or a car that could ultimately perform them sort of lap times, I'm afraid. Next step now is just firstly diagnose the issue, work out what that is, and then we can actually set a plan to come back. But obviously, tomorrow starting P16, I think. It's yeah, obviously going to be a little bit harder in race 1, but I guess the ultimate goal will be race 3 again.
Welcome to sunny Snetterton, deep in the heart of the East Anglian countryside, for the second weekend of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. But here at Snetterton, the crowds are back, limited in number but strong on enthusiasm. And as far as the drivers are concerned, for the first time in 18 months, the show is now complete.
So we're here, it's race day at Snetterton on Sunday. The cars behind me are just getting warmed up, ready for race 1. The sun is beaming hot, and who knows what's going to happen in race 1, but we're starting in a great position in P12. I'm going for the win in race 3. That is my plan for today.
But let us see how race day at Snetterton is going to pan out, because the last few cars come into place. Jade Edwards' drivers now look towards the lights. The 5-second board is withdrawn, so Colin Turkington on pole should make the best start, but as the lights go out now, let's see, he does get away nicely. So also Stephen Jelly from the second row of the grid. Tom Oliphant can't find a way through the traffic in his BMW. Tom Ingram goes defensive with Rory Butcher crawling all over the back of him down towards Riches, so Turkington leads.
5 laps remaining, 5 laps remaining.
Because Chilton's on the back of Rowbottom, and Rowbottom in turn wants to get way past Jack Goff. The other driver making progress, Ash Sutton, by the way, up into 11th place.
And last lap, last lap.
That's Tom Chilton facing the wrong way at Wilson.
That was not clever, Tom.
There was a fast approaching Gordon Shedden. Not sure if there was a touch. Oh, rejoins and forces Jess Hawkins way out wide.
Did he get touched or not? Okay, mate. Okay, that puts you 21st. 21st. So let's pick up rubber and take it easy on the way back in, please. Pick up rubber.
I've got my first few laps, but no turning on the brakes.
That's what balance it, right?
Sutton can dive left and right.
Yeah.
So I'm just understeer. Doesn't matter what I'm doing with the brake and the throttle, I've got a massive understeer. He can really turn under me. So we just finished race 1 and not exactly where we wanted to be. I was hoping that I was going to move forwards, and I just physically couldn't. With the balance of the car, I couldn't get the tyre to do what I wanted it to do at any point in the lap. Had a beautiful 180-degree spin at the hairpin, which made me go from 14th down to 21st. So that wasn't where I wanted to finish at all. I'm actually thinking the hottest bit of the day, let's go for the softs, because everyone will be pretty much on the mediums and thinking it's too hot. So I think, as I'm so far back, let's go for a gamble. Let's go for it.
It'd be nice to be bouncing around podium area, but obviously with the 75 kilos on, that might be a bit difficult. You know, it is basically championship contenders are all around or in front of us, apart from Jake Hill. Yeah. Cookie's obviously out of position, but he's going to be on the soft, so it's hard to judge how they're going to perform.
If I'm honest, Shed's going to go for a race.
Yeah.
Because everyone in front of him's on the medium and a bit of weight. He's in the same scenario we were last race, yeah. Identical.
You could have an issue at the front where the two BMs, they're not going to be giving each other any room. They're both going to be fighting for it. Yeah. So they could back everything up into the rest of the pack.
Aim for a top 5 here.
Yeah.
And just click. Hopefully finish in front of Colin, that'd be a nice one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
I think we need to counteract the weight, but I think actually
we still need to have that balanced foot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go with that then.
All right, sounds good.
Race 1, we've just done that. It was average at best, to be perfectly honest. Finding our feet a little bit, got ran wide by another car on lap 2 or 3 and dropped us down the order. And the problem is, every car on the grid is separated by a couple of tenths. So if you lose a second, it takes you 10 laps to make up that second effectively. It's very easy, and you see the younger drivers where they don't realise that. They'll fight from lap 1 defending on a white line on the inside for P nowhere, and you end up just losing time, and if anything you can kind of get caught out in more incidents. So I think I just need to be tactical, know that we potentially have a tyre advantage in this one, and just pick them off one by one, as patient as possible, keep the car pointed in the right direction, and yeah, see if we can get to the top 12 and catch that reverse grid.
Let battle commence. It is go, and a good start is made by Morgan and also by Jelly. Tom Oliver gets away nicely too, and Ingram takes the fight to Turkington. He gets squeezed onto the grass there. And a very, very good first lap from Ash Sutton. Sutton prizes open the door, gets up the inside as they go towards Williams. Through he goes, job done.
9/10, in other words, nearly a second quicker than Ingram and Jackson were going. Look how he's closed up.
And he did that fastest lap as well as overtaking 2 people, you know, so he had the traffic to think about as well as all of that. So he is in blistering form. As I say, the soft tyre, no weight in the car, and he has arrived on the back of Ingram.
Has he forced the door open enough? He has.
So through goes Ash Sutton, then up on the inside, he goes third.
Still plenty of time, we don't need to rush this.
It is not if, it is when Ash Sutton's going to get the lead. He could barely be closer, almost pushing Turkington out of turn 3. Fantastic.
Great job, mate. Look after the tyres now. 4 to go.
It is at the ready, and Ash Sutton is going to come through for a second win of the season. Round 5 of the championship is won by Ash Sutton, but only just. Colin Turkington, 0.4 of a second behind him.
Absolutely mega drive. What, with the soft tyre? Yeah. Well, we waited to see what everyone else was going to do in race 1. We sat back in the garage without making a decision. We let everyone else make our race 2 decision for us, knowing what strategy we wanted to be on for this one. And it's played out kind of perfectly.
Roller coaster. Yeah, look, where do I start? Obviously, just shows how quick your luck can change in touring cars. Obviously, engine failure at the start of qualifying. Somehow we managed to drag a lap out of it, putting us P16, but ultimately just made Sunday, today, the race day, a little bit harder. Yeah, we made the best job we could in race 1, getting up to P11, and then the ultimate goal was to win race 2, which we went out and set and did. The soft tyre played a big part of that, and then it was just a case of damage limitation, but in hindsight, it was a much better race than that.
Round 6 of the series is won by Tom Ingram, who is absolutely over the moon as he comes across the line. Tom Ingram wins from Ash Sutton in second place. Third.
Obviously, to get second, come away with a championship lead, it's like icing on the cake. That if someone offered me that yesterday, I'd have took it. But it just makes Brands a very difficult meeting. Obviously, going there full weight, the track really relies on acceleration and braking. We always know how close it is there, so it's going to be a real challenge in qualifying, but the aim would be to shed the weight and crack on in race 2 and 3.
So yeah, like this weekend, it was probably a bit of a reminder of what touring cars can be sometimes. Into turn 2, someone hit us so hard at the back that someone hit me so hard into the second hairpin that it's crumpled the rear boot lid, moved my helmet on my head, and then sent me into, well, Tom, in front of us, which ended his race as well. But we need to find that little bit more to go from 10 to 15 to 5th to 10, and then we'll be right in the mix. I think it will probably take another weekend or 2 for us to really challenge for wins, but at the same time, there's nothing more that these guys can be doing. Like everyone at Team Hard is putting in 110% effort, and this will develop to be a winning package. It's just going to take that little bit of time. We're finally into the flow of the season. It's only 2 weeks. We don't have to wait another month to get to the next race. So actually now we can learn from here, have a team debrief tomorrow or the next day, kind of make a plan of action for in a week's time, and all of a sudden roll into that with a lot more momentum.